So this is a situation that requires an extraordinary amount of response, and the Department of Correction at the moment appears to be treating it as if it's the flu.
I really think, Doctor, you want to treat this like you treat the flu, right?
Incarceration makes it literally impossible to engage in the kind of social distancing that public health experts are recommending.
It's really scary sitting in there. I know how fast an illness can go.
For a long time, abortion opponents have been trying to shut down this clinic, and they're hoping the COVID-19 pandemic will help them close it at least temporarily.
It is critical that we do everything to make sure that access to abortion care is protected.
More than 37,000 immigrants are jailed in crowded facilities across the United States.
This pandemic impacts all of us, regardless of immigration status.
Any response to COVID-19 must reduce the footprint of the nation's criminal legal system.
No one should have to choose between protecting their health or exercising their right to vote.
You know, they're telling us to stay in the house, but then one of the most important times, they're forcing us to come out here.
Making vote by mail an option for all eligible voters is just common sense.
We cannot be 6 feet apart. If it breaks out in here, everybody's gonna get it.
Our prisons and jails in this country are overcrowded, they're filthy, they're unsanitary, and frankly, the medical care is pretty bad in the best of times.
You have to reduce the population. You have to let people out.
Today, the American Civil Liberties Union filed a class action petition to release inmates at Elkton.
ACLU of Ohio, the ACLU of Georgia,
ACLU of Indiana.
The ACLU of Vermont is calling on officials to prevent the rapid spread by reducing the prison population.
We received a letter from the ACLU on the 20th. By the 23rd, we had to have a list of low-impact, nonviolent offenders to be released out into the communities.
There's not a solid response or game plan for COVID-19 in our carceral system, period.
I was incredibly disappointed to see this kind of opportunistic use of the COVID-19 pandemic for some political purposes.
The group saying abortion shouldn't be ruled elective, adding those who need them don't have time to wait.
I have to come down here today and risk my life to vote.
The last thing we want is for people to risk their health and safety when there are options available at this time for them to safely vote without having to put themselves in danger.
Today, Google and Apple announced that they have a tracking tool that would allow health professionals to contact you if you've been near someone who has tested positive.
The ACLU says it wants to ensure any contact tracing app remains voluntary and only for the duration of this pandemic.
The ACLU of Michigan yesterday filed suit fighting for the release of immigrants detained in jails throughout the state.
Being an immigrant should not be a death sentence.
California is granting early release to 3,500 inmates.
It's such a relief to be out of the sickness, out of the possibility of dying in there.
Today, a judge in Austin ruled in favor of civil rights organizations suing to increase the availability of mail-in ballots during the coronavirus pandemic.
Federal judges have temporarily blocked some states from using coronavirus emergency orders to delay and in some cases deny abortion care.
The ACLU issued this notice asking the governor to consider 7 groups of prisoners for release.
It only takes one person in one of these facilities to test positive.
To release people whose only offense is being in the country without documents.
If it wasn't time before, this crisis is the time to act now.
We want science, not politics and not prejudice, to inform the response to COVID-19. And at the ACLU, we're going to fight to ensure that it does.